Hi guys, and welcome back to another Freshen Up episode where I breathe new life back into cars that are no longer looking their best. Today I'll be working on this, a year 2000 Porsche Boxster S. Unlike most of the cars you see on this channel, this Boxster is not my own stock. Instead, it's come to me to be prepared for sale for the owner. The car is in average condition for its age, with the majority of its issues being paint-based, including a rather nasty area of lacquer peel on the rear bumper. Aside from that clear coat repair, the majority of the work here will be making that 20-year-old paint look as new as possible, whilst bringing the rest of the car back to form at the same time. So, that's the plan, let's get into it. The first thing I want to tackle is that flaking clear coat on the rear bumper. I start by removing the rear number plate, and this immediately throws up an issue. It appears that the rear bumper has been repainted before, and whoever did that job decided to simply paint over some of the old number plate adhesive strips. The only proper way to fix this is to fully repaint the area, but having spoken with the car's owner, it was decided that as this area is hidden by the number plate, the best course of action would be to remove all the old adhesive and repair the clear coat over that area. This will at least give a smooth glossy finish, and any minor tonal differences will be hidden by the number plate. With all the adhesive removed, you can see the clear coat damage caused. First step is to wet sand the area. Once the area has been flattened to a uniform finish, it's time to mask up ready for the new clear coat. I mask to the underside of the recess lip to save any unsightly lines and will lose the new clear coat down the lower bumper section. After a final clean, I apply several coats of lacquer, graduating from light coats through to heavier, wet coats. This new coat of lacquer will help to even out any remaining differences on the previous damaged coat, as once it's thoroughly dried, it will be wet flatted to give a final, level finish. Several stages of wet flatting later, and I'm left with a dull, uniform finish ready for polishing. Due to the size and shape of the plate recess I'm working on here, I'll have to do some of the manual compounding by hand. This is the end result. As mentioned, there are some tonal differences in the paint, but these will be hidden by the number plate. The overall finish of the new clear coat is totally smooth and glossy, and best of all, that ugly patch that was visible in the corner has disappeared. So, the next task is to make that 20-year-old paint job look a little younger. As always, this means starting with a full clay bar stage to remove any ingrained contaminants from the paint. This is the first of a two-stage machine polish that I will give the Boxster in order to fully rejuvenate that fantastic ocean blue shade. This first generation of the 986 Boxster seems to be tipped as a smart investment in the modern classic car scene. I know a lot of you guys know a ton about cars, so I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the best modern classic to buy right now? Let me know in the comments. With the final polishing stage now completed, it's time to move on to the Boxster's hood. This one is showing its age a little, but it's fully functional and totally watertight, so there are no repairs to do there. However, it could certainly use a thorough scrub and wet vac. I start by giving the hood a good clean with a silicone brush and a vacuum. This helps to remove a lot of the impurities before getting the hood wet. Next up for the hood is a thorough scrub with some APC and a medium bristle brush, taking care not to brush the plastic rear screen as this can easily be marked. Once the APC has had a little time to dwell, I use a wet vac to extract as much moisture as possible, taking with it a host of previously ingrained dirt and grime. Now it's time to give the Boxster a final clean down to remove any remaining polishing dust or residue from the hood scrub. I opted to do this inside the workshop as there was no shade available outside, and in the current heat and sunlight this thing would be covered in water spots in no time. I'm using Auto Glym body shampoo and a super soft noodle mitt before towel drying. I'm trying out a new format with my videos lately and not including background music. What do you think? Are the videos better with or without music? So, with the Porsche thoroughly dried off, I've brought it outside to clean all the door shuts and recesses as well as giving the interior a freshen up. After a clean, I use a buff off quick detailer to give the shuts and lesser seen areas some protection and a healthy shine. Now that all the door shuts are clean, it's time to move on to the interior. Overall, the interior of this Boxster is in remarkably good condition, so all there is for me to do is give it a thorough vacuum and remove years of high gloss dash sheen build-up. Finally, it's time to dress the tyres. I start by giving the wheels and tyres another quick clean with a dedicated wheel cleaner. Once it has been rinsed off and allowed to dry, I use Auto Smart High Style to dress the tyres. And that's it. The Porsche is complete and ready for the owner to put on the market. 20 years of dullness have been removed from the paint, and that unsightly flaking clear coat has been addressed. Inside, this old Porsche looks as good as new. The ocean blue paint is looking just as Porsche had intended, and this one is ready for a few more decades on the road. If you enjoy seeing cars like this being returned to their former glory, consider subscribing to be automatically updated when new videos are released. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.